Does anyone have a question? Somebody has a question? We come together as a group because in a group situation, the energy is very strong. And the intensity of the energy really gives each and every person an individual chance of building a system inside themselves that can be connected to higher energy in the universe. The group creates individuality, and everybody has their own unique reality that they live with. Everyone is different, thank God that people aren't clones of each other and kind of function exactly the same way. And being individuals, there's no two people that this energy is going to affect in exactly the same way. Each person will find their own unique connection with higher energy in the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. And the reason we have a group is because of the intensity that builds up when you have a number of people doing this work together. A lot of people, oh, I don't want to belong to a group. I don't want a teacher. It's only silly, I mean, as I've said 1,000 times already, I'm not a guru. I don't want disciples. I'm not interested in living that kind of life. I'm interested in nurturing the people that come to learn this meditation. I'm interested in serving a higher force in the energy by taking my time to nurture human beings, all of us here, so that they can grow inside themselves and build a chakra system and connect, with their own spiritual enlightenment. And to me, it's just a way of serving my teachers, Rudy, Nityananda, these incredible souls that gave me my life and made it possible for me to do what I'm doing today. And it's a way of just saying thank you. And as I said, when there's a group of people, the energy gets really strong. I mean, it really becomes deep and strong and very focused in helping people to grow inside and to develop their chakra system and their connection with higher energy in the universe. It's just creative energy. And we all have energy and we spend it like crazy. And we're wound up generally functioning by the end of the day on tension. We need to replenish our tanks. We need to fill ourselves with Shakti. So there's such a superabundance of energy that we never run out of it. And we never find ourselves running our lives on tension. Does anyone have a question? God is love. I'm sorry to say, that's one of the last things people find inside themselves is unconditional love. To be able to, really fill themselves with that kind of energy and then nurture other people in their lives with that kind of energy. And it often brings up the idea to do that, you have to be a weakling. It's not true. Humble people, to me, when you find a truly humble person, you find one of the strongest people living on the planet Earth. Because there's so much crap here that could rip it out of a human being, that to be able to sustain that takes an incredible amount of energy. and depth of commitment to a spiritual life. One has to be very strong. And this meditation is about building that kind of inner strength.
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, Bob?
In the context of our work, what do you mean by being humble?
Saying thank you, Bob. But not just lip service thank you. Thank you through the way you act in the world, how you contribute to life, how you nurture people, how you serve a higher energy in the universe. It's humility. Understand, nobody can serve higher energy through, their ego, charisma, being their self-importance. And they become, they try to create themselves into some kind of God. But somebody who can just say thank you, but not just thank you, through how they live their life, how they listen to other people, how they learn from them, how they don't put people down, how they don't criticize everybody, how they're not opinionated, and how they don't function from their ego, but they function from an open heart with compassion, with love. That's humility. And we're not taught that when we're younger. We're taught you got to be macho important or, a feminist or this or that, that's what we're taught. And we play those kind of roles in life because they think they're going to make us succeed. And all they do is take people to the grave. Yeah, they might get a little financial success doing that, but ultimately, most people just burn out when they live that way when they're 40 years old. There's no opening to receive Shakti, spirit, creative energy. And then there's no ability to use that creative energy in their life, in the arts, in music, dance, in their work, their everyday work. I mean, burnout is a very big thing in corporate America. By the time people are 40, 50 years old, I mean, they're like dry toast because they're living on tension. And all of that Shakti, that spirit, that creative, it's gone. And it's possible to get it, but we have to learn how to open and receive it and have humility and gratitude for it, and then use it consciously in our lives. Whatever our professions are, we use it consciously in our professions. It's humility, just to be able to say, I mean, every day I say thanks to my teacher, Rudy. Every day. Just say, I go, like, thank you for having made this life that I live possible. I'd be dead today if I hadn't met him. And it wasn't a chance meeting. It was set up by a high karma. I'll never forget that friend of mine who told me it doesn't cost anything to look. One of the most wonderful things anyone's ever told me in my life when I was looking into Rudy's gallery. And I said to him, I'm broke. What am I going to do in there? This stuff doesn't cost to look, he told me. And I walked into his gallery and my whole life changed. I remember sitting in Rudy's gallery and people would come in and he would say, "Can I help you with anything?" And they would say, "Just looking." And it always, staggered me. I'm looking at Rudy and I saw light, I see auras, I saw, Shakti coming at him. He tried, and the people would, what are they looking for? It was right in front of their nose. They weren't just seeing, they were just looking. And it's, to me, it's just one has to have a creative life. We can't live a life stuck in the mud. We can't live a life based on, things that we became habituated to in the past. We have to live in the moment, in the now. All great art is created in the now, in the moment. Doesn't matter if the artist was crazy as a loon. When he was in front of that canvas, this energy came through him and he created, masterworks. They took, Van Gogh and I mean, great artists. That's how they functioned. Dancers, same thing, musicians. When they're in their craft and they're in their art, they're living in the moment. And they have the training to be able to function in that moment while they're dancing. Well, the rest of the life is a whole other story. But while they're doing that, they're living in the moment. And we spend every day of our lives living in the moment. And yet most of life is, guilty about the past, worried about the future. We take very little time being focused in what we're doing in the present, in the moment. Does anyone have a question? Anyone else have a question? It's having self-worth, liking oneself, being worthy of, the sacred gift called life that we all have. Most precious gift that human beings have. And so much of it is just wasted. The precious sacred gift called life. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, there will be class tomorrow evening. And this weekend, no. On Sunday, no. Although this retreat has already started. This is the 5th class I've taught today. I mean, it's really been pretty intense here, But, there will be class on Monday. There will be class tomorrow evening online on Zoom. So God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. A wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart. Sleep well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.